Good evening. I'm Lisa Helfrich. Thanks for allowing us to speak tonight. So we're going to tag team what we have to say. So this is a request to create a 2019 cost analysis for the city's proposed water tower and related infrastructure. We're here to share our concerns about the costs and location choices of the city's pending 3 million gallon water tower and the related infrastructure projects. We have these concerns because it did not appear the school district properly considered certain calculations prior to making their decision. We felt some information that dramatically factored into this decision was overlooked. To this end, we are requesting the City of Lancaster to develop a much-needed cost-benefit analysis of the district land choice and compare it to the other top 3 choices. In addition, we are asking for the rationale for adding this water tank to the system when other choices may be more relevant and cost-effective. With these concerns, we ask that City Council respond to the following questions and other equally pressing issues that relate to our water future. We believe it is essential to make this information public now before moving forward with any land agreement with the school district. Number 1, over the past 2+ years, the public repeatedly requested information on the need for and other location choices for this tower to be demonstrated. To understand some of these concerns, we've provided a link for you online. Number 2, recognizing the negative impact an industrial-sized water tower would have on a school campus, multiple board members expressed personal opposition to surrendering land, so a 145-foot water tower could be erected on their property. Yet, despite their objections, board members stated prior to their vote it was eminent domain that was a key factor in voting in favor of a 99-year land lease. The question remains, if the viability of the school site had been properly compared to other top sites at the beginning of this process, would eminent domain have been necessary? Number 3, the city plans to spend $2 million to lease the school site. This raises the question, what are the land costs to the city to pursue the other top choices? And would the city consider Charles Road, Armstrong, and Kensington Road as the other top choices? Number 4, new information suggests piping to and from the school site could run 1.7 million or higher. In addition, this site now requires a tower to be built to 145 feet. There are other costs that may be incurred, including, but not limited to, wetlands and stormwater mitigation, a potential sewer line rerouting, tree removal and replanting. In fairness to this evaluation process, we request that an engineering comparison for all foreseeable costs at each of the top sites be calculated and this information be made public to properly compare costs.
Number 5, also note the city is moving forward on its water tower plans before its 2 new managers and public works directors are hired. These water decisions will impact our community for decades to come. For this reason, we believe it essential that the new public works leadership be hired and allowed to weigh in with their expertise for how to best meet our future water needs. This includes the tower project and other aspects of the water system build-out, especially with an eye to how future land development scenarios are impacting these decisions. Because in large part we learned this water is primarily set to serve new developments outside the township, and we feel this ought to factor into any location decision. 6. It appears that 2 studies, one dated around 2009 and the other 2013, serve as the backbone for moving forward on water development. It also appears some of these figures may no longer prove as relevant as when they were first presented. For reference, see South Water Tower Info, a website providing data on water pressure and other needs we believe water engineers could best interpret and weigh in on. 7. Because the city is without a water board, there isn't a place for the public to receive answers regarding water development plans. Because of this, we are requesting that City Council play an active role in obtaining and sharing information on the water build-out plans for our community. With tens of millions of dollars on the table to create a 21st century water delivery system, it is in the highest interest of all parties to understand the priorities for improving our aging water system, especially when knowing many of our water pipes now date back between 1950 and before 1900. Also important, the school land the city is requesting is situated beside a residential community where some houses are nearly 100 years old. An 145-foot tower would also cast its shadow on two schools, the only public park in the area, and the multiple playing fields used by city and township residents alike. Central to our concern is this land ought to be preserved for future educational needs that the school district may not be able to anticipate today. We do not believe this is a NIMBY issue. We are the public speaking on behalf of preserving the quality of our public land and schools for generations to come. And to recognize this land ought to remain a treasured public space and community neighborhood for the future. Building a water tank next to a park also doesn't take into account the recreational haven this will provide children in the future. Remember, this is your school district, and kids from the city and the township will be going to these schools and using these parks. We anticipate others in the city and perhaps serving on city council will share these concerns. We see the water tower situation as an opportunity to stop and pause so we can move forward with a strong sense that we are making the best and most effective decisions possible on behalf of our community and the future of our water delivery system. And I would like to add that our goal here tonight is to meet with you and to let you know of our concerns and to hope that in the weeks ahead we can communicate and find if there's a way to, create this as an agenda item or some other way to facilitate communicating about it. So thank you very much for listening.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Mr. Harris, do we have anyone else who called ahead this evening?
Yes, Mr. President, we do. Terry Brown is
Mr. Brown. Good evening, Mr. Brown.
My name is Terry Brown, 233 West Chestnut Street. Now, you said over there, right, you was going to be of the mayor, right?
Just for a few minutes.
Yeah, okay, now just be a few minutes for the mayor for now. I'm going to talk about 2123 West Chestnut Street. That is the House of Peace. There's an argument went down on Friday over something stupid and dumb. And the whole time I've been there, right, I see a lot of underage people because the mayor's not here. I see the mayor when he comes back. A lot of underage people on the event. And they ain't saying nothing, so. And I see a lot of marijuana sales. Act 64. Do you know what Act 64 is? Act 64 is crack cocaine. Sound like water. Heroin in there sound like water, and Percocet it sound like water. But every time I walk in there, right, they think I'm a cop, undercover police officer. Because I had like 4 different shirts on, kind of like a little cop sled on the side, right? But think I'm a cop. Like on Friday, I was in there right now. Me and somebody else talking, and the manager came in, jumped right in the middle. He's the boss; he can say anything he wants to say, and everyone down the line. So he wanted to get somebody down the line. Then I told the woman, I want nobody jump in my conversation when I'm talking. He said, he's the manager. He's out there with it. I said, no, you're not. I don't care if you was President Trump. You can't jump in nobody's conversation. If I wasn't trying to do something, I wouldn't be here right now. And that's what it's trying to do. So that's what, so he's trying to get me put out, kicked out, and I said, okay, George, if you want me out of here for good, I'll get you a reason why. Because I don't drink no beer in there, and now I don't eat because I got food poisoning in there. I brought Muscatties, right? Somebody stuck a chicken bone inside my Muscatties, and something else. I've been sick so much down the line. Now, I can't eat no food. I get my steak, all my stuff away. Because if I eat it, I'm going to bring it back up. And I'm telling George that there, but see, he don't want to say nothing. So that's the only reason why I said, okay, I'll give you a reason why for you to get me out of here. I told everybody, I got food poisoning in the house of pizza. And nobody said nothing about it. And that's why George said, you're out of here. I said, okay, that's good, I don't care. Because I'm going to buy no food anyway. Because when he did hire our security, right, he hired a pedophile person to do security. And the person, he's in jail right now. When he get out of jail, I hate to say it, every single body in here will be resting in peace. Because he got what, over 100-something years in prison. He's been running, and all of a sudden, officer, you know what I mean, a retired officer called him. Now he's in there. Then I sent to George, and George don't want to understand. I say, you hire somebody, it's a pedophile. Why you want to hire a pedophile? Hire a right person. And the point about that, they don't like Afro-American people in there, but they want us to spend our money in there. But working in there, no. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, Mr. Brown.
Oh, okay, it's like I said, I went to the mayor, then I called the mayor, right back, sure. Because I thought the mayor was here, but the mayor's not. I was like, you as the acting mayor.
Thank you. Do we have anybody else who called ahead?
No, Mr. President, we do not.
Okay, thank you. We'll move on to excuse me, reports requested by council. Human Relations Commission update. Ms. Ryan-Terry.
Thank you, Mr. President and Council. And I actually wanted to ask Ms. Baker, Ms. Friedel, I don't know if you want to stay on that side, Councilman, or if you want to come on but everybody knows who you are. I wanted you just to see some of the faces of the board, because you don't get to see them all the time. And this board is so active. I can't thank everybody enough. I mean, they're enthusiastic. They come to every meeting. They're engaged. And, you know, we really couldn't have accomplished the strategic plan without everybody's enthusiasm. So, the last time that I was here to give an update, we did go over the strategic plan. I was with Julian Godford at the time. He was with GEM Consulting. So as a result of our strategic plan, we were able to come up with a 3-year plan, which does take fundraising into consideration. And you know that was something that was important to me. We also, more importantly and more immediately, were able to form some committees. And the committees include the marketing committee, of which Councilman Valentine is our chair, and they're going to be responsible for our branding and raising our public profile. Outreach and partnerships is going to determine the types of relationships we should have with other community members and community organizations. And Jasmine is the chair for that. Events and education, Megan McLean is the chair for that. She's not here tonight, but you know, one of the main goals of any Human Relations Commission is to educate the public and educate the members of the council. And so they're going to be responsible for that, which is a major role. And then lastly, governance, which is very important as well. Because governance, of course, they're studying our bylaws and they're going to educate the rest of the board and the commission on how to properly enforce those. So that's my only report. I just wanted to say, you know, we finished the strategic plan. We're excited to get it going. I think that we have good direction. And we have good members on the board.
Thank you. Thank you not only for the report, but for the work that you are all doing on the board. We have come leaps and bounds from where we were not that long ago, where we're having real conversations about making real progress in strategic plans and committees And with the women that are standing there, I have no doubt those committees are going to get things done. It's really, really a new day, and it's exciting. And I think that was a vision a lot of us had when we wanted to kind of do a reset, and it's just wonderful that it's happening. So thank you. And I know it's not easy. I know it's not easy. But thank you for doing it because it is meaningful, and it will pay off. And the people that you help, certainly are happy you're there. So thank you.
Thank you. I will say that when I joined the board, I think there may have been 4 people, and all we did was nothing against the former chair, but all we did was go to events and set up a table. We had some literature, and that was sort of it. So, yeah, we're excited to have some focus.
Wonderful. Well, anything you need from us, feel free to come back and ask. Anytime you need to report, feel free to come in. You don't have to wait. You can come in and let us know anytime.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you all. Moving on, I don't believe we have any interim reports of committees of council. We made an action earlier in the meeting to strike the legislative agenda. So we'll move back down once again to public comment. This public comment period is open for comments or issues of concern that were not on tonight's agenda. I would again ask that you limit the duration of your comments to 3 minutes. Is there anyone from the public who'd like to make any public comments, Steve? Hearing none, we will go to the report of the mayor. Mayor Srirachi is not here this evening, so she does not have a report. Report of the President of Council, I as well do not have a report this evening, so I will go to council comments. Any comments from council members? Hearing none. Boy, it seems like we just went down the list of a lot of things really quickly. So hearing none, I think I will hear a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second. All in favor? Aye. We are adjourned. Thank you all. Have a good evening. How was this?